Blumhouse Productions has definitely made its name at Halloween Horror Nights each and every single year. And in today's video, we're going to be looking back at the very first installment of Horrors of Blumhouse Volume 1 back at the 2017 Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood event. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to SoCal Exploring, your stop for all things theme park and attraction related. My name is Scott. Subscribe if you're new here with those bell notifications on. Check us out on social media, both Instagram and Twitter, down below. You can also purchase some official SoCal Exploring merchandise or Horror Nights Unscripted merchandise, our episode or our podcast that we do with Lodge TV. Just click the link down below at the TeePublic site, and if you want to help us out further, donate $3 to our Buy Me a Coffee page today to help us produce higher quality theme park content for all of you guys to enjoy. buymeacoffee.com/SoCal Exploring. But yes, it seems like you guys enjoyed the one that I did for American Horror Story 2016, where I kind of watched a POV of a maze from, Halloween Horror Nights past, and I kind of talked about my thoughts going through it, talked about what they could have succeeded in and what they kind of failed in. So today I figured, why not do it with Horrors of Blumhouse Volume 1, because me personally, I like this 10 times better than Horrors of Blumhouse Volume 2. Shout out to ThemeParkHD. His video is the one I'm going to be watching right now and talking about. He filmed the POV that I'm going to be watching on YouTube, so you can subscribe to his channel, link down in the description below. But let's get into it. Horrors of Blumhouse 2017 Volume 1. Now this says 12 minutes long. I'm assuming they just got caught up in a conga line, so we're gonna skip through it in some parts. Okay, I really do like this facade. When we saw this facade being constructed, I was really happy with it. Actually, it's nice. It has all of the different properties that they used on there and all the different Purge films, because the first part, it was Purge, Happy Deathday, and Sinister, and that's how exactly it went. But this was a nice simple facade. I liked it, and this wasn't even the main facade, but this was really neat to take pictures of during the daytime. You really couldn't take pictures of during the nighttime because you're obviously moving through the maze, but it was nice to see during the daytime and take pictures of it, almost like an Instagram wall. So this was like the gauntlet section for the Purge, because this wasn't actually inside of the maze, this was outside. So this was like a gauntlet section. As we saw in 2016, they had a gauntlet for the Purge as well, and I'm honestly a fan of the gauntlet style. They have obviously implemented it in the scare zones and the metro set locations, making it more into a gauntlet. So this is fun. The scenes where, you can't really do much for a Purge maze. You can't, as we've seen with the first Purge, they can't do tons, but honestly, scare zones and gauntlets like this work out really, really well. I think right here is looking like where they're getting stuck in a conga line, so we're gonna skip ahead. As you can see, this is the Sweet Licks ice cream truck that they're passing by right now. Let's see if they still have the logo on there. Oh yeah, the logo's still on there. It says Sweet Licks. That is the Sweet Licks ice cream truck from Clowns 3D, and I believe they may have also repurposed that for the Trick or Treat school bus scare zone as well. I think that they repurposed it. I'm not sure, but yeah, you guys can see there's actually great detail in this gauntlet. It was actually really put together well. There was plenty of scare actors in there. Obviously, the conga line is never fun, but there were definitely plenty of scare actors going around scaring guests, and this in particular section was fairly long, minus the conga line. It was still fairly long, and it was fun. You don't have something like this typically with Halloween Horror Nights mazes, so it brought something new that none of us were really used to. Here we come to the Stilt Walker, which is my favorite to take pictures of. I loved having the Stilt Walker there. It was such a good scare, and you look so tall looking up at him, and so intimidating and menacing. And I believe that this was all just based off Purge election year. If I'm not corrected, this was all just based off of Purge election year, not all the Purge movies combined. That's why you see a bunch of American flags everywhere, and Purge or Die in red, white, and blue. These characters are really creepy. They're really weird. You can't see their face, but they're really creepy and scary, and they did a very excellent job, all the characters out there. Now I think that you just went into a long black hallway after this with something, yeah, so we're gonna skip a little bit ahead to the actual facade of the maze and outside of the Purge section. And here we are, the actual Horrors of Blumhouse facade. Really simple facade, really nice. And of course you still had Purge characters out there scaring you as you transition into the maze. Now for Universal Monsters 2018, this is kind of gauntlet style. as well before you actually got into the maze. So we start off with Happy Deathday first, which there's actually plenty of content from the movie that they worked with here, and they actually did a very good job at putting some different scenes in here. Man, they really got backed up in these conga lines. So here's obviously the college room where she keeps waking up and realizing that she's repeating the same exact day over and over again. Great film. I highly recommend that you guys go check it out. But yeah, this is and that audio was still playing, like her waking up. And here's one of our first scares right here. Oh, we didn't show it. Oh, there he is, Babyface. Really good scare. You saw one of the other characters back there as well. That was a neat thing. So these are kind of the transition rooms in the hospital scene, I believe is what they're going for here. Obviously, you saw the girl right there with the axe. Not too much detail in here, but they did. I like how they incorporated it in to kind of just try to incorporate everything from the movie. I don't know if there's any other scares right here. Okay, so then we go back into the room again, and actually it's the same exact room that we saw, but just with the lights dim, and there's an actual scare from the baby face right there. That was a really good scare, jumping out of that window. Really, really strong scare. And we move out into the hospital once again, and here we go into, I believe this is where she first saw Babyface in the underground. No. This is also in the hospital, in the construction zone, I believe. It's been a while since I've watched a movie, but this is also in that hospital scene where they're in that construction zone. This is black walls, I believe, with some scares. Babyface creeping up right there. That's really neat. Stuff like that is really cool when characters just do the kind of funny things like that. Yeah, and they're meant to scare you, but they're human too. So all black hallways, which is unfortunate because we're so used to that here at the Hollywood event, at least. And then we go into one of the scares that we see, kind of at a party, and this is a common scare that we see in a lot of Halloween Horror Nights mazes, where there's some mannequins and there's some real ones, but that was it for the Happy Deathday scene. And I'll kind of reiterate everything at the end of watching this walkthrough and say exactly what I think that they could have done better in some parts. But we get into the Sinister area, which honestly I was really excited for. I was extremely excited for. Did it deliver as I thought it was? We'll talk about that afterwards. But yeah, so one of the scenes here is very strong with multiple scares coming from both sides. A really, really creepy scene, that chopped up body, obviously from the film. Really, really creepy stuff. This was just bloody. It was gory. And there's also another scene. Oh, this is where we saw one of our first scenes, because they started to introduce these kind of cloth scares where they kind of jump outside of the cloth and scare you. Here's an outdoor scene. I like when Purge does outdoor scenes, and obviously we see a small little house facade there. Really neat. I'm a sucker for these. I really am a sucker for these. I can't lie to you guys there at all. We move into some more hallways. Not tons of detail at all, but yeah. Yeah, that's it was 2017. What can you expect? So we keep moving on. There's that wasn't an actual scare actor. That was a blackout actor pushing Bagul towards. There's Bagul again, jumping out. I remember actually a funny story when we first walked through this. We got stuck in there for like 4 minutes just in that hot black hallway. Nothing was going on at all. We were just stuck there. Probably a cash change or something, but it was really unfortunate that we got stuck there. So that wasn't the greatest experience of Halloween Horror Nights 2017, at least in that maze. Just getting stuck in there, it wasn't fun at all. There's Bagul again. More black walls, which Sinister suffered a lot from. That's why I think that it was one of the weakest points of the Horrors of Blumhouse maze. And obviously, I guess conga lines really struggled here as well. This was probably my favorite scene from the Sinister scene in Horrors of Blumhouse. Definitely, it was the most detailed, and definitely it was the most kind of weird scene as well. And there was a good jump scare right there. I think that was it for the Sinister scene. I believe there's one more scare right there, one more Purge scare from Purge Anarchy. And that was taken out due to the Las Vegas shootings that happened that year. They took it out of respect for those who lost their lives and those who were affected by it. So a good part on Universal from that. It was fun having it there. I believe this character was still there. He just didn't have that big machine gun, obviously. But yeah, that was Horrors of Blumhouse Volume 1. So a couple things that I think that this maze suffered from was the fact that Happy Deathday needed to be a little bit more detailed. And I know that it was actually fairly detailed for the space that they had, but I would have liked to see just a Happy Deathday maze, in my personal opinion. I think Purge was great for the content that they have and what they were trying to accomplish. I have really no complaints about that at all, but Happy Deathday definitely should have been more detailed. I think that they just could have put a little bit more detail into it. However, I did enjoy the scenes. It was fun, and I'm glad that we got to see Happy Deathday represented at the event at least, because I do like that movie a whole lot. But then we move into Sinister, which I had high hopes for. I really did have high hopes for. However, the scenes in there just didn't deliver. This is another thing that they could have made a whole separate Sinister maze dedicated to just Sinister. But they didn't. It unfortunately didn't work out very well at all. As you can see, there was a big, super long black wall scene in the Sinister portion of the maze, which they could have purposed for different scenes and such. However, there were a couple scenes that were actually pretty good, but other than that, yeah, it wasn't the greatest, and I just wish that they just delivered on Sinister a little bit more. Overall, I think Horrors of Blumhouse Volume 1 was a fairly decent maze, especially considering the lineup that we had in 2017. So, good job to Horrors of Blumhouse Volume 1. However, Horrors of Blumhouse Volume 2 just wasn't the same fate. I did enjoy Horrors of Blumhouse Volume 1, though, and I'd like to see another Horrors of Blumhouse Volume 3 just with strong properties and strong detail in them, instead of just a couple black wall scenes with a couple lackluster scenes throughout the maze. So that does it for this video. If you guys want to see more of these, let me know down in the comment section below. Like this video, subscribe with those bell notifications on. My name is Scott. You've been watching SoCal Exploring. Positivity is key, and most importantly, remember to keep exploring. Peace out, everybody.